Bill Belichick is a college football coach.
It is. Sounds like a 5-year deal with North Carolina, about $10 million a year, I think. Can't find the specifics just yet, but that's what it sounds like.
Yeah, and I know he asked for, like $20 million in NIL or a war chest there. I haven't seen the specifics yet regarding his son as well, being a head coach in waiting, something like that. Since this broke, I've had people on social media ask me, do I think he's going to, have success at North Carolina? I think the first thing we have to do, and I said this, early this morning when I went on with Mincy on Barstool, was how do you define success if you're a North Carolina fan? Or if you're just asking me in general, are we talking about winning a national championship? I highly doubt that. Not saying it's impossible, but I don't think it's probable. But at North Carolina, and this is one of the reasons why many people say it's such a great job, because it is a basketball school, if we're going to be honest with ourselves. You win 8-9 games a year there consistently, and you make a run every 3 to 4 years, you go down as a hero at North Carolina. Plus, they can pay you this type of money. So I think it depends on how you define success. And then I will also say I think it's easier now for an NFL guy to go to college because of the way the college game has evolved. Not that they're exactly the same as the NFL, because like we talked about with Rhett Lashley yesterday, there's no everybody's not a free agent at the end of the year in the NFL. There's contracts. But how do you see this move? Do you like it? Do you think it's going to work?
I think it's fascinating. A couple things, first of all, with Bill Belichick specifically. For a long time, we said this guy's probably the greatest NFL coach of all time, right? Not the volume of wins necessarily that someone like Don Shula had, but the 6 Super Bowl wins. Then Tom Brady leaves, gets another Super Bowl. Bill Belichick gets fired from the Patriots. So you would think that, he got fired from his NFL job, couldn't get another NFL job, so he's coming down to the ranks to the college level. That has to be some sort of demotion. That has to be embarrassing. I feel the opposite way about it. I see a guy, now I have more respect for him. This guy loves ball so much that he wants to coach so badly that he's willing to be the head coach at North Carolina. And in terms of winning the national championship, I agree. What you said is true for most of the history of North Carolina football. But now in an era, like you said, where you can put $20 million of NIL money behind a roster, which it sounds like North Carolina is going to do. The transfer portal is pretty much always open. Kids can say, you know what, I would like to go play with Bill Belichick. I'm going to go do it next week. And in a conference in the ACC where we just saw a 3-loss Clemson team is going to make the college football playoff. Put Bill Belichick in a 12-team playoff to win 4 straight games. Go make your halftime adjustments. Who knows, man? Maybe they could win a national championship.
Yeah, and I think it's great for college football.
It's fantastic.
How we feel about college football. Blaine, you see all these documentaries with Bill Belichick. You see these interviews where players are like, we can't believe he was getting on Tom Brady the way that he was. After Tom Brady had made that evolution into, one of, if not the greatest quarterback of all time. How do you think in the era of the transfer portal, when you're dealing with 18 to 22-year-olds mostly, that Bill Belichick will be able to, keep a roster or cultivate a culture at a college place? Because we know how different that relationship is still, even with as much as the college football game has changed, the NFL as compared to college.
Well, I think Bill Belichick is a great football coach, but I think he's a very easily unlikable guy. The way he acts and the way he talks is just the way Bill Belichick is. And I think, to be honest, I think this is an extremely risky move for Bill Belichick. With years of dominance in the NFL, you're walking into a different college landscape, from recruiting to the transfer portal to all this, to a team that you're going to North Carolina, to where you're going to have to rebuild this team to get it back to where it was, and it could overshadow, if it goes bad early, all the success he had in the NFL. So to Bill, I know you love ball, but at the same time, this is a risky move for Bill Belichick.
Where was North Carolina though? Like what is he building it back in? Having a good runoff year every 1 to 4 years. Again, this goes to my point. I don't think people in North Carolina are expecting to win the national championship every year, and the expectation for the basketball team is a lot different than the football team. That isn't to say that they don't want to, or that they can't, or they wouldn't be, we saw Clemson elevate themselves with Dabo Swinney. Now look at the expectation and the standard at Clemson. I just don't think North Carolina's been to a spot where it's like he's got to rebuild it back to here. If they're making this hire and throwing this type of money, I think it's more to David's point of they're trying to elevate themselves to where the standard can be raised.
Well, his legacy clearly took at least a little bit of a hit the way it ended in New England. It's not like he went out with back-to-back Super Bowls like John Elway or something. So, Blaine, are you saying that the hit that his legacy took at the end in New England, that can kind of be overlooked with time because of all the Super Bowls he still won, but you be mediocre at the college level moving forward, and that's something you can't overcome?
Yeah, for sure. That could tarnish everything you did. to a certain extent, but it could put kind of a bad shadow of everything you've accomplished in the NFL if you come to North Carolina and just throw a dud for 2 or 3.
Can I ask you guys this? What do you think? Tell me what you think it was like in the meeting room when the athletic director, and I have the name here, the North Carolina athletic director is named Bubba Cunningham. Only someone with that name can pull this off. What was it like in the meeting room when they got rid of Mac Brown and they were looking to hire a new football coach when he said, "Bear with me, Bill Belichick"?
Well,
how was that received?
If I was in the room, the first thing I would say was, there's no way.
Sure.
He would say yes. Why would he do that? He's an NFL guy. You know, it's not like Wink Martindale coming to be the coordinator or anything like that. Would Bill Belichick stamp his name on being a college head coach when he's cut his teeth and he's been at the NFL for so long? It's not like Saban, who was an understudy of Belichick, who had been in college for a while, then went back to the NFL, then decided to come back to college. I think it would probably be I would love that. I think that would be awesome. It would make us instantly relevant. But why are you faking me out? Like, why are you just? Why not Barack Obama? Or just if we're just going to say names, Moses, Abraham Lincoln. But the fact that not only did you throw that name out there, you were able to go get that guy, and the structuring. And here's what I find fascinating: some people, and this is where I want to give Clark Lee credit. So we were like, oh well, look, he's got a GM. Look, it's Lombardi, whatever his name is. Yeah. Clark Lee got Barton Simmons to be the GM before any of that stuff was cool. So we've already seen kind of this movie before. We just haven't seen it with this main character in Bill Belichick, which is going to be fascinating. So I'm happy for North Carolina. Again, I think it's great for college football. I really, really
Fantastic.
do. Hey, what's up, YouTube? Appreciate you guys being here. Please hit that subscribe button.